Third quarter-final of the German Open here in Bremen at the third Super Series event of this 2015 season on the GAC Group ITTF World Table Tennis Tour. And what a match it is. Jhang into this tournament as the world number 4, number 2 seed, the 27-year-old reigning world and Olympic champion, up against a man that nearly beat him in London in the round of 16, that phenomenal 7-game match where Vladimir Samsonov at the far end of the table in red went down 4-3. But he's back, he's playing well, he has renewed vigour, he's back to the blade and rubber that he was using some years ago, and he says he feels great. So Samsonov starts with the serve, 2 serves each player, 11 points the target. Best of 7. Trying once again for that backhand. So Jhang not worried at the moment about the punch backhand of Samsonov. He's gone to it twice on those service receives. Came through very comfortably against John Persson of Sweden in round 1. Did Jhang errant shot from Samsonov, just catching his opponent, but no smile from either player, so not a lot of love lost out there. That wasn't deliberate. And then Jhang beat Shono of Japan 4-2, a little bit more of a test. There's your control from Samsonov, this marvellous blocking and retrieving game. Can wear down an opponent, a little bit lucky with that one, but he'll take it. Beautiful, dismissive backhand down the line, and so much control. Samsonov beating Matsudaira 4-3 in the last round, but coming through against Liang of China 4-3 also in the first round. Sorry, and it was Matsudaira in the second round 4-3. So he's had a lot of games as the big fella today, and we'll be feeling it. So much depends here on Samsonov's control, firstly of the Jhang serve, and then what he does with any third ball. And there's that massive amount of spin on the ball. Just dropping it off the net, and Samsonov will take as many of those as he can get. And that's the problem he's going to have. If he cannot control the serve sufficiently well, Jhang third ball attacking is ferocious, to say the least. Did quite well actually to stay in the rally first of all. Back to the serve of Samsonov for 2. Doesn't employ what we would call a traditional pendulum serve, the serve that you see from a lot of the elite players now. It's almost a pendulum action, but high toss and then just gets right underneath the ball. 2 quick points for 5-all. Take that. He's done it again. It just goes to show how tight Samsonov is trying to be with these returns. Doesn't want to give Jhang anything to work with. This is very good from Samsonov. Was in a little bit of trouble at the start of this game, but has calmed things down. And Jhang is the one on the back foot. Jhang doesn't want to get stuck here. He wants to keep the footwork in good order. Help him open up on either wing. shot to play right over the table. That's a lot of control. It's a fascinating start to this game. This has been really quiet from both men. That caught the edge, I think. Yes, it did. 9-7. Samsonov then with two massive nets and an unplayable edge. Crowd starting to get into this one. Goodness me. Well, Samsonov, at a time in his career when he has achieved everything he needs to achieve in terms of what he was likely to be able to do with his world ranking over the years, and the fact that he comes from a the opportunity here of seeing another would-be big upset. It's been a while since Vladimir Samsonov has performed as well as this at the high level. It's not that he's ever disappeared from the rankings, but you just watched him play over the last couple of seasons and thought, okay, well, maybe this is it for him. But no, great revival in the last season or so. As he puts it down to returning to more familiar equipment in terms of his blade. And he does. He looks to have a huge amount of control over the ball again. And without forcing the pace, he's also made some really good choices in attack. So Samsonov leads 2-0 over the reigning World Cup, World and Olympic champion Jhang in black nearest the camera, and that will not do his mindset any favours. We saw what he did when he won the World Cup, Jhang. He's like when he's angry. Quick apology from Samsonov, because in attempting to play the ball back to his opponent, he's ended up batting it to the far side of the playing area, which if it were local league would have started an argument, let alone in this division. It's interesting. For me, Jhang is a player that wants a plan to come together and work on a consistent basis. His opponent, he's happy living piecemeal. He'll take whatever happens per point. Just too loose with that return. Try sliding the rubber around the ball to take the spin off that Jhang had put on it, but it just sat up for Jhang. See the devastating play that Jhang is capable of. If he gets in first, he makes it difficult. He got lucky there with a very deep play. Yeah, and again, not much you can do about that. Exquisite angle from Jhang. That flew away off the edge of the table. Legitimate kill, though, from Jhang. I would say Samsonov under pressure, but this has happened to him in the last 2 games and he's come through and won them. So I won't read too much into it yet. Baleful look back to his coach there from Jhang. Samsonov's turn to get back on the lucky road. There's been a lot of those in this game, hasn't there, already? Only 2.5 games in. Well, that was very good from Jhang jike up to the point he tried to unload on the forehand. Dealt with the Samsonov pressure pretty comfortably, it looked like. Manufacturing a forehand there, Samsonov, to stay in the rally. He's back in business. Nice flip. Going straight onto that 1/3 ball attack. So never does Samsonov look unduly concerned. Agreed. His turn. Samsonov with a good backhand. These are serves that the Immortals wouldn't be getting back on the table, but once the spin is read, those at this level just turn that to their advantage whenever they can. That's exactly what Samsonov did there, using the top spin against his opponent.
6-7.
Jhang, at the moment, is just getting himself back in the lead each time. Unusual pushing rally. Samsonov trying not to let Jhang jike do anything under his own terms, and that's making the Chinese player try to manufacture quite a few shots. It's almost a blueprint of the other games that we've seen between these two so far. As we get to the business end of the game, it's Samsonov that is starting to look the stronger of the two. And it's a good gamble. Big sweeping forehand taken on by Samsonov. Wow, this German crowd waits for their moment. And now they're getting right behind Vladimir Samsonov. Not this time. Clever work from Samsonov, just choosing that moment to towel down. Jhang countering. It's too good. A wealth of experience for Samsonov to call upon. And he's making some great decisions out here. Game point once again for the Belarus #1. Oh, he's done it. And Jhang in all sorts of bother. The Seeds are having a horrible time here in Bremen on day one of this Super Series. And Vladimir Samsonov, a seed himself, but with a chance of taking down the #2. 11-8, 11-9, 11-9. Quite brilliant from Samsonov. He leads 3-0. Well, it's not one of those entertaining games, and it's more one for the purists, because there's been a lot of technical play, tactical work, and then great execution, which has kept the match remarkably tight. As I said, this crowd right behind Samsonov, who's their man for this game. Well, nicely for China-Germany in our final quarter-final of the evening. Timo boll scheduled to come on against the #1 seed for this tournament, Marlon. Game. Right now, there's a job to be done for Vladimir Samsonov, and Jhang surely can't go down 4-0 here. Time for a comeback. If Jhang wants to go through to the semi-finals, it has to start here. He's got to win all 4 of the remaining games. Vladimir Samsonov needs one more. Again, the angles being worked by both men. Well done to Jhang, didn't overhit that, stayed in. Samsonov trying to tempt him. Oh, just a little nibble on the net. Takes it past the end of the table. Just a bit too big on that for Samsonov. This was not on the script. They were the Chinese team today. Yeah, that was always Jhang had. Samsonov, though, with all his experience, will just be waiting for that next purple patch of form, and he'll try and get it done then. Not a good backhand. Too quick. Don't hear that often, do you? Too quick for Jhang. phenomenal movement from the man in black. That was a brilliantly guided backhand. But what a recovery from Jhang jike. The backhand before that from Samsonov. Lovely work from Jhang jike to go wide, and then a good forehand to finish. 5-2 then. Second serve from Samsonov. Works again. In fact, I'd venture it's worked almost all of the time. That backhand to the corner. Samsonov's game in good nick. Jhang jike fighting.
6-3.
Samsonov won't panic. He'll just let this play out. If it's Jhang's turn to win a game, fair enough. We'll just settle it down for the next one. Yeah, great shot. Lovely forehand. Good read. Look at the footwork on this. Just dances himself back into that kind of mid-table position. Giving the space and the time to hit that shot. Superb from Jhang jike. Oh, what a shot. Same position, same shot, same result. Definitely worth a round of applause on that occasion. And Jhang jike is definitely on the comeback trail. This is a little bit worrying for Samsonov that Jhang is winning this one so convincingly. Another superb forehand. It's all just a little bit too big and too fast at the moment for Samsonov. Can Jhang jike continue to play like this into the rest of the match?
11.
There we go. There is game 4. It goes Jhang jike's way. And that leaves us at 3-1 on the scoreline. Jhang jike still with a massive mountain to climb here. Samsonov will trust in the fact that at some point between now and the end of this match, he will hit another patch of form. Jhang jike's form will dip and he'll be able to close this out. Fascinating game. Roll up, place your bets. And I wonder how many of you would have had 3-0 on the cards for Samsonov before the start of this game. And now, where do you put your money? Certainly Jhang jike looked like he was back to some form in that last game and dominated Samsonov. By the same token, Samsonov rather went off the boil. So when he comes back into it, when he finds that form again, Jhang jike's response will have to be immediate and it'll have to be effective. Because he has no room for manoeuvre here, no more mistakes.
Game. Samsonov to serve. Level.
3-1 then to the man in the red shirt from Belarus, Vladimir Samsonov. He will start serving in this 5th game. Again, the net intervenes. There's been so many of those in this match already. What a superb rally, though. Look at the angles they're working on that table, and just that little tag on the net, changing the course of the ball. Too difficult to recover from. Quick apology from Jhang jike. He leads 1-0. Well, there's only so much topspin you can handle on a block. Kerr finding some good shots now. Not his most familiar shots from his repertoire, but he really is able to cope now a little bit better with what Samsonov is doing. Well, Jhang will be very happy with this, but he'll also be completely aware of what is to follow, because he may get through this game in relatively straightforward fashion, but surely it's all going to start again. Now, how much effort is Samsonov going to put in here in terms of a comeback? Copes this time with Jhang's top spin. Getting close to the semi-final place is Samsonov, but he's been derailed at 3-0 up. Jhang here looking very strong. Just stopping the Samsonov drive in time. What a forehand. The speed on Jhang's arm for that forehand. That was a blur. This time confined to the backhand, quite deliberately by Samsonov. Been stung just a few too many times in the last game and a half by the forehand of Jhang. The backhand, that's the very much the modern backhand. Cocking your wrist and moving the blade right under the ball and then just coming over the top as hard as you can. And Chinese players, great exponents of that. Got a bit of everything in there at the moment from Samsonov, including a chop. None of it's working. And Jhang showing some ominous signs here of getting control of this match. Might be 3-1 down, but if things stay as they are and Jhang keeps playing like this, I think there's only going to be one winner. Samsonov has got to do something to unsettle him. Brilliant. Two dismissive backhands there from Samsonov. Got nothing to lose in this game. And even if Jhang does win this easily, it's still 3-2 up Samsonov. I just think Jhang showing us enough here to remind us what a great talent, what a prodigious talent he is. Good. This is good from Samsonov. Taking some gambles here, ripping a few backhands. Closes it to 3. And once again, a slice of luck. 2 points in it. Jhang got to watch himself. He thought this game was done and dusted. Oh my goodness, what a shot. That's just unreal. Steps outside the backhand and just drills it cross court. Beautiful shot. So 3 game points to Jhang. Brief comeback looks like it's over for Samsonov. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, superb. Well, Samsonov did everything he could in that rally. He found some very good angles, tight to the edge of the table. But in the end, Jhang just staying in the rally and making that point happen in his favour. Oh my goodness me, what a fight this is. So, 11-8, 11-9, 11-9 meant 3-0 Samsonov, but look at that comeback from Jhang. 11-3, 11-8, it's 3-2 still though, Samsonov. This is what we want to see, a big final game between two of the greatest exponents of the sport. Belarus and Vladimir Samsonov are still in the mix, they're still in the tournament, but from 3-0 up, Jhang has brought it back to 3-all and he's saved a match point on the way. That's pretty good. That shows a lot of application, mentally and physically, and now it's just one last push for these two. What have they got in store for us as we head into a 7th and deciding game in this third quarter-final? So Vladimir Samsonov to get things underway, a 3-0 lead, pegged back to 3-all. That won't feel good, but he must use all of his experience. He knows that he can still win this game, and that's a good start. Just went longer with his backspin serve, but got it into quite a tricky position for Jhang to hit that backhand. Hit that one okay, and that was too quick, too much for Samsonov. Sometimes looks like a wry smile on the face of Jhang, and he has been accused of being an arrogant player by some. But you win the biggest tournaments on the planet, and I guess you've got some right to that arrogance. Well, not the best angle to cover the point from, but the little shout from Samsonov tells us that it's his. Shout of Cha when he wins the points. Quite an old-fashioned shout, actually. That was prevalent in the 80s. So Samsonov just beginning his career. Jhang very much of a different generation. Two-all, 3-all. Minutes from that serve, Samsonov, but while it restricted Jhang to a certain extent, quite enough, and that was a nice backhand. Again, just moving Samsonov to a place where he can quite affect his most controlled block. Listen to this crowd, getting themselves warmed up for the Timo boll Ma-Long encounter, no doubt. Good forehand. It sat up, it was there, and he took his chance. Oh, this is great stuff. Both men trading some pretty hefty blows now. Incredible. Samsonov just about standing his ground in that rally. And just that little bit too quick. The demand on both players in this match, huge. Change of ends in the final game at 5. Ensure that both players get at both ends of the table. Make sure there is no advantage from one end to the other. Big serve here for Samsonov. He doesn't want to go 6-4 down. Most of his serves have been sliding across the table to the backhand. And again, a little bit faster, and Jhang was on it like a shot. You get the feeling that that might just be it, I'm afraid. From Jhang Jike's point of view, there's no I'm afraid about it. He'll be delighted. A 2-point lead now for Samsonov to overcome. It's not beyond him, but it's going to be tough. Beforehand, he got his bat on it, but unfortunately drifting off the top of the net wide. Points now for Jhang Jike to play with. Got him chasing everywhere, and Jhang just takes that off the bounce for the kill down the line. Brilliant effort from Vladimir Samsonov to stay in that rally. But this was just a matter of time. Pretty good movement from the 38-year-old there, but once this popped up, off the bounce, as calm and as cool as you like. From Jhang Jike. He can afford a few though now. He's got a bit of breathing room. For Samsonov, he's got to peg his man back here. And the apology comes from Jhang Jike. No real apology needed. He's played very well to get himself out of trouble here. Against one of the most dangerous opponents in the world. And one of the only men that can give Jhang Jike a problem. Oh, and it's just falling away from Samsonov. The wheels now very much coming off this performance. And Jhang Jike from 3-0 down finds himself with 5 match points. And there it is. That is a very, very good performance from Jhang. He really is a sensational performer, and that is a mature display as well against one of the most mature players currently functioning on the World Tour, 38-year-old Vladimir Samsonov. Spare a thought for Vladimir. That really was a terrific effort to go 3-0 up on Jhang, but you just got the feeling that if Jhang could find a way into the match, that Samsonov's task would become just too difficult, and that was the case. A 4-3 win then for Jhang to go through to the semi.